Welcome back. Today we are with Natalia Karayaneva. Natalia is the founder and CEO of Proppy, and we're going to talk about all things real estate, prop tech, NFTs, and tokenization of real estate. Natalia, welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Hi, Greg. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So we were talking a little bit before this, and you and I have a very similar background. You are a real estate developer and had a real estate brokerage in Europe before coming to the United States.
Yes, that's correct. 15 years of expertise in real estate, development, construction, selling. Before that, software engineering.
What type of properties were you building? Commercial, residential, or both?
Mixed use, mostly residential, second homes for foreign investors in Bulgaria, new European Union country.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. So did you do any developing in the United States when you came here?
No, actually, I moved here with the goal and the mission to launch Proppy.
Okay, well, fantastic. So let's talk about Proppy. What is Proppy?
Proppy is a platform based on Web3 with a mission to automate the real estate transaction.
Okay, so from a retail standpoint, buyers, sellers, that kind of thing?
Yes, for now, we're focusing on the ease of the transactions for the consumer, for the end user, home buyers, home sellers. But of course, our settlement protocol and blockchain can be utilized for commercial deals too.
Okay. And do you have to buy cryptocurrency to do that, or is it done with dollars? How are the transactions settled?
You can do it both with cryptocurrency payment, dollar payment via bank, via our own payment gateway that connects to your online banking. And overall, our transaction platform can do both traditional deals with dollar payment, traditional deals with crypto payment, and NFTs.
Okay. So what does the platform do that's different than the way we do transactions now?
The platform is different in a sense that it's a one single spot where you close a transaction. You negotiate in terms of doing offers, making offers and accepting offers, and then you would pay online in our platform. You would sign everything with DocuSign integrated, and then the smart contract settlement would also process escrow and title. So you'd get the title report again in one place, the consumer knows what's going on, the realtor knows what's going on, and then you have the deed record in the end, both in the county and on blockchain.
Okay. So is that the big differentiator, from a Web3 standpoint versus like there's some cloud services that kind of do transaction coordination where all parties, can log in and be, do everything digitally. So is it mainly the blockchain component that's different?
Well, I don't think there is a single platform today on the market that guides the consumer in a wizard-like manner what to do next, and providing kind of a domino pizza tracking, what's going on with your transaction, starting from offer to the very end. So that's first thing, the user experience, user friendliness of our platform for the consumer. And then on the back end, all the data that we're generating or collecting through the process, they are feeding our settlement protocol. And the settlement protocol essence is checking if the terms are met and then executing the funds and ownership transfer simultaneously.
Okay. Yeah. That is a little like I'm thinking dot loop, you're familiar with dot loop and kind of how that works. Yeah. So I guess the settlement piece and probably the loan piece is in there as well.
Yeah. Mortgage origination and processing, approval process. Our platform just receives the data, and you can look at us as an interface. Maybe it would relate to dot loop, sky slope, brokerment, and so on. But the way we're different is that we're very consumer centric, and we come to the process very early on, starting with offer acceptance, offer sending, just traditional offers, but also very deep because we do escrow closing on our platform, which Dot Loop doesn't do.
So are you envisioning being more consumer driven and consumer use versus broker usage?
For us, it's very important to focus on both the realtor and consumer. Both of them for us are consumers. their behavior is not an enterprise focused one, but rather those both people are on both personas are on the go. They want to close quickly, securely, and that's why we've polished this flow both for the realtor and for the consumer. And in the US, as you know, consumers trust agents a lot in terms of what to choose, where to choose a home, how to close, and that is, those two personas are critical, in my opinion, for a real estate transaction in the US.
Yeah, at least, and especially right now, and I know that, you know, a lot of prop tech companies are looking to eliminate the realtor from the equation, and it'll be interesting to see if that is ever achieved. I know that as long as I've been in real estate, that's been part of the conversation, at least, well, in the last 10, 15 years when, you know, especially searches have gone primarily online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm hearing those conversations as well. And I think what we will see in the 10, 20 years perspective is that the commission may shrink, which is not up to us, but to the consumer. But then the realtors will have more transactions, because instead of 6 million homes, we'll see 12 million homes, 18, when it gets easy to transact via innovation like ours.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, nobody wants to get rid of the realtor, just the commission.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone wants to get help in terms of like neighbors, neighborhoods, and whatnot. But yeah, I hear you, especially in cities like New York or Miami, where real estate is expensive, and thus the commission itself substitutes quite a significant amount of funds. Of course, the consumers are not willing to pay, but then you have neighborhoods that have low value homes, and then realtors are hardly making any money.
Yeah, it's a fascinating conversation, and I know there's a lot of legal challenges to commissions and all that kind of thing going on as well. So, you know, that part of the industry is definitely changing. And your technology will make it easier on realtors as well, less work to do, and should streamline the process and therefore justify lower fees if that's the direction, you know, markets move.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like with our NFT sale, you get a closing within hours. So realtors, consumers, they save 30 days, and it's not just saving 30 days of a timeline, but it's actually all this anxiety where every single day something can fall apart. And that's a big save, so that the realtors can focus on building new relationships, building new deals, knowing new developments, for example, and instead they have to track what's going on with their closings.
Yeah. So before we move into the NFT side of it, so one thing on the, you know, side now, what's the big advantage and difference between recording at the county and recording on the blockchain?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we're recording for now on both for the traditional deals. For the NFT deals, we do it all on blockchain, and I will explain how. But for traditional deals, it's very important nowadays in the US to record a deal on blockchain. And realtors love it. They reach out to us. It seems like they're already aware of benefits. And these are immutability and transparency of transactions on blockchain. Because with real estate counties, there are 3,000 databases across the country. They're prone to cyber attacks, to natural disaster. Data is lost. It can be corrupted. And I'm hearing a lot about fraud cases that are not even registered when homeowners that don't have inheritance. Basically, this database can be altered so that fraudsters can get over ownership, just bringing necessary paper for them in databases. It's ridiculous, and that's why it's important home ownership records to be on immutable blockchain.
Yeah, and that's a big point. You know, recently, I guess it was last year, there were a couple of big municipalities in California, I think Texas, that were hacked and with ransomware, and you could not record real estate transactions. So they stopped pretty much every real estate deal in the process until I guess they ended up paying the hackers, you know, to unlock their system.
Yes, it's scary actually, the times we're living in, and when one of the most valuable assets in our lives are recorded in these unsophisticated databases. And the reason also they're not updated is because there are 3,000 and there's a different counties in different states that are governed by different ways. They don't have neither expertise nor access to talent nor funds to actually utilize forward-looking technologies such as blockchain.
Yeah, yeah. What blockchain is Proppy built on top of?
We're built on Ethereum. Our engineers are early experts in Solidity. Having said that, we're pretty blockchain agnostic, so we may get transitioned to a different blockchain for various reasons, but it's not something critical that we need to decide right now.
Yeah, will proof of work, proof of stake affect that?
Yeah, if Ethereum will launch Ethereum 2.0 this year and it goes smoothly, then of course that's the future of computational consensus that we want to be on. But at the same time, some blockchains are so early yet. They're promising, but they're too early so that we can trust, again, such valuable assets as real estate. And for us, speed doesn't matter, as well as the gas fees. They are relatively low when it comes to $100,000 properties that we're doing on Proppy.
Yeah, yeah, probably less expensive than, or right around the same as traditional recording fees, which you still have to pay at this point, with the counties.
For the traditional deals, yes, but it's not just the recording with the county, it's like the whole transaction. Every single document, we take a hash of it, generate a hash, put it on blockchain. So it's the whole conveyance, where in the recording office, they just get the deed and they register the deed. They don't care and track what's going on through the conveyance, where normally deals are falling apart. And that's the main differentiator, not just the immutable record of the deed, but the whole transaction. And that's, again, a big value for the consumer.
Yeah, so everything's on the blockchain.
Yeah, the whole
from contract to closing.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, people don't have to worry about looking it up. It's always there.
Yep.
So, do you time that transaction to reduce gas fees, because sometimes, they're cheaper than others right now on Ethereum?
No, we just do it whenever we need to do. Again, the gas fees are not as relevant to the value of properties that we're transacting, which again, they're between $200,000 to $20 million per transaction.
And what kind of fee range are you seeing, spread on those transactions?
Normally it's about $200, between $50 to $200. With the recent NFTs, they were a little bit higher because we had to execute a number of smart contracts, so about $1,000. And like this NFT transaction, it was $650,000 worth. And we've saved 30 days for the buyer and for the seller, and saved a lot on the closing fees in terms of escrow, title, and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the NFT then, the real estate NFT, because a lot of people think of an NFT as a JPEG that you own. So tell us about real estate NFTs and the auctions that you're doing and how it works.
Yeah, well, first of all, I have nothing against JPEGs in your wallets bought as NFTs. And actually here I have an NFT art that my team draw electronically, and then my daughter draw it in a physical world. So I'm a big believer on acquiring NFT arts as a method to belong to a community or a particular tribe, and those NFTs, they have utilities. But back to the real estate home ownership, I believe that the real estate asset is a digital asset, because the ownership itself is a social concept. We've invented that so that we understand who owns this particular physical property, which is immovable, and thus it's impossible just to steal it, right? or hack the physical one. And then ownership has always been a creation of a community. So first it was a consensus of neighbors. If neighbors prove that you own this house, then this house is yours. So then it was brought into databases and reporting offices. Now we're getting further and we can trade ownership via blockchain. And so with the NFT transaction, that was the essence of our creation, where you can transfer home ownership from one wallet to another wallet. So we created this sale process where a number of people were making offers online through Ethereum, and whoever offered the highest price, they became an owner of the NFT and the property respectively within minutes. That's the main innovation. And the way it works, we put an NFT into an LLC, which is a very common practice in the US, to own home via legal entity, primarily to take care of the privacy issues. And then after we record this LLC in the county before the sale, from that moment, this property lives on chain forever. It could be changed many times in terms of the change of the ownership, and we don't have to come back to the county and record the new owner because the LLC remains the same.
Okay, and I guess you could do the same thing with a trust.
Yeah,
land trust.
We do both LLCs and trusts.
So how do so in an LLC you have members. So how does that change? So I guess that all changes on the blockchain then. You don't have to change anything at the county, because when you record that LLC at the county, who's the member?
Yeah. So we change the members automatically as soon as you, Greg, buy the NFT. We do not allow acquiring of those NFTs if we don't know your name. So we ask for your name, we verify your identity, and if your identity is verified, we transfer the NFT to your wallet. It's done automatically via our protocols. And then because you own this NFT in your wallet, and because our system collected your name and your surname, the protocol puts you as a member in the LLC and revoke the right of the LLC membership of the old owner.
Okay, but that doesn't need to be updated at the county, just in the state records when you do the new, membership minutes and things like that.
Exactly.
And so do you guys provide that service then? Because with an LLC, you need a registered agent, you need, all of that.
We do that. We offer that.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So, so in essence, what they're buying is an LLC, and that LLC, like you said, is the digital piece that people would think of as the digital JPEG, so that's what gets transferred. And then is there a royalty built in for the original owner or creator of that real estate NFT to receive a fee every time that property is sold?
Yeah, that's correct. We have a royalty fee built in. We have your wallet as the seller, realtor as well. If they provide their wallet to our protocol, both the realtor and the seller, they get royalty fees from all future transactions.
Yeah, the realtors love that. It's amazing. That's an interesting contemplation. So as a developer, I've done projects, I don't know if you ever have, where I built perpetual royalties in every time the deed transferred or property transferred, the developer would get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is something that is out there, that's been done in some developments.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
You just put it in the deed. So it's like a deed restriction, basically, so every time that, title changes and every time the deed transfers, then a fee is paid. It's like a transfer fee, is paid to the original developer. Some states that's illegal. Some municipalities within states that's illegal, like a county or a city. When I say illegal, they passed a law where you couldn't do that. It's not like it's against the law, but some municipalities and counties do not allow that. But it's basically a transfer fee.
Yeah. How big is it? How large is the fee?
1%.
1%?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can make it whatever you want.
I've never heard about it, that it's actually been done in the space. That's amazing.
Oh, Yeah. It's just you just put it in the deed, and yeah, every time that it transfers, that development entity receives
Uh-huh.
that fee, and it can be whatever.
Oh
But
my God, that's
yeah,
amazing. So
yeah,
it's been invented already. And then the developer has all the incentives to build this property with a very high level, high quality, I mean, because then all the future transactions, you get this income. That's amazing.
yeah. You call it a transfer fee. Is not a royalty in the deed. It's called a transfer fee. Kind of
Yeah.
like a lot of municipalities have a transfer fee when they, or a transfer
Mhm.
tax when the deed is, transferred to somebody else, or the property is transferred to somebody else. So from a developer, it was we just called it a transfer fee and put it in there. And, yeah, these communities continue to pay in perpetuity, every time a piece of property is transacted.
Do you think 1% is too high though?
It depends on the area and the property, but it just, like you said, it's just part of the transaction. And in the areas that these were done, that's what the transfer tax is. It's either a 0.5% or 1%. So we just matched it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I didn't come up with it. An attorney shared that with me years ago. So
But did you have this concept built in your developments?
yeah. I had a couple of developments that I did, and they were in North Carolina. And yeah, so they're, every time something transacts, I mean, it's not a ton, but it's, it's a good bit of, transactions that happen. For bigger developments, it's really nice.
For sure, that's probably generating quite a substantial channel of revenue.
Well, not the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
not a whole lot of sellers the last couple of years.
Yeah, there's no much liquidity.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So what about tokenization? So we talked a little bit about that before. Have you looked at versus the NFT? That's a different thing, tokenizing a property.
Yeah, while it's different, it's still kind of in the realm of Web3 in real estate. So I love the concept because we need more use cases in the real estate when it comes to crypto, blockchain, Web3, and even metaverses. But we decided at Proppy to not pursue fractional ownership concept because these are security tokens, which is absolutely illegal. You just have to file those security tokens with LLC. Each token represent ownership, but at the same time, there have been a number of crowdfunding real estate platforms before all the crypto craziness came to the world. And as well as you could invest in the Empire State Building through a REITs, publicly traded, right? So I don't find it as a new concept necessarily absolutely changing the industry, but this new generation, which is becoming crypto native, most likely they would invest in security tokens. They wouldn't start build wealth via investing in real estate via tokens, just because they understand it and they're accustomed to it. They're accustomed to own certain things, whether it's JPEGs, music, in their wallet. So why not also steady real estate, kind of a hedge investment? So that's my 2 cents. I don't necessarily say that we would never do that. At some point, maybe we'll shard those NFTs into pieces, those that we're doing already. But also, I'm a big fan of teams that are very serious in fractional ownership. It's Accrue, Solid Block, Realty, Loft AI. These are really cool companies. They're taking this fractional ownership task via different lenses. And they probably will be a number of winners in the fractional ownership space, not just 1 or 2, and everybody would specialize in either Reg A or Reg D or distressed real estate or residential or commercial or different regions in the country or globally. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, so I'm with you, and there's companies out there doing it. So I think it's an interesting component, and it's basically another version of either a tenants in common or a REIT or a syndication. So it can be done in that sense. So I think there's a place for it. I think it has some challenges, from that standpoint, in terms of the ownership interest and who controls it and things like that, especially when you're talking about DAOs or things like that that are trying to venture in real estate. But I think tokenization in and of itself, I think will ultimately make it more accessible to a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that just don't want to trade REITs, don't want to trade stocks, and they would, more easily trade tokens or cryptos that are, backed by a real piece of property versus, just some of these coins that are backed by nothing. They're just coins.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So what is the, so what are you looking at, from the standpoint of property? I guess the NFT is not on the website. When you go to proppy.com, you don't have anything on there about the NFTs at this point?
We are launching our next NFT early April, and it will be on our homepage soon if it's not there yet. And there is a search portal on Proppy. It's just not being advertised yet on homepage. So you can browse for MLS listings and NFT listings. We're working now with about 1,000 sellers in pipeline to get ready for the next NFTs. So
really?
Yeah, next 4 weeks, it will be about 10, and then we'll scale to hundreds of those.
Wow. So how do these work with financing?
For now, in the next 3-4 months, it will be all cash buyers. You can buy NFT real estate with USDC, but you'll have to pay in cash and you have to bid with full price. That's for now, but we're working with 3 best companies in terms of lending and DeFi that are preparing products for down payments and mortgage, which are crypto enabled.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I know that's a big opportunity in this space. I know a lot of people that want to leverage their crypto holdings and be able to buy real estate without having to cash out of their crypto, pay a capital gain and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how that segment of the space evolves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what is your big focus for Proppy? Where do you see the next stage for Proppy as a company? What are you focusing on? Is it the NFTs, or where do you see the next phase of the company?
Yeah, so we have the NFT movement started. It's only 10% of our efforts right now, but we believe it will turn into a big movement in the industry. Realtors want to see more NFTs. Real estate funds want to invest in real estate via NFTs because it saves time and so on. And then, so with this NFT sale, we believe will take over the industry, just like OpenSea took over art, digital art, music, and so on. But then 90% of our efforts are in closings of traditional deals, which involves escrow, title, realtor, and consumer. And we have this network effect forming where realtors are bringing us more realtors and more consumers, and they see a lot of value in transacting this way. So that's our big next milestone to get to the critical mass of the agents and consumers to transact on Proppy, win the market share again of transacting on Proppy. We believe will become just like Amazon, when you can choose a book in a bookstore or your friend recommended your book, but you would always close on Amazon. And that's where we're aiming for realtors and consumers to know that you can pick a home in Zillow or from a realtor, but when it comes to closing, they would know that it's Proppy that makes it fast and secure.
Okay, so you're not looking at a marketplace yourself like a Zillow where it's just one stop, they can find the home and then do everything from there?
That would be our next stage of involvement. First, we want to really win the market share in terms of closing fast and secure, and then probably we will entertain this idea of becoming the Web3 Zillow.
So yeah, so one step at a time. But yeah, you guys just need to go buy Zillow and take it over.
Yeah, easy.
Awesome. Well, Natalie, I appreciate you taking some time out today. I know you're busy and you've got some real estate NFTs to sell. So thank you for being here today. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon as the company evolves.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Take care.
Thank you.